ready for the rough now.
Hey guys, it's Shane, and I'm going to give you some tips on simple stuff like kickflips and heel flips, and I can throw tray flips in there and maybe even backside flips. Alright, so let's get started on that. So, the first thing you want to do is, obviously, you need to know how to ollie to do anything. So if you can't ollie, stop watching this video right now. If you can't ollie even well, don't watch this video. First thing you're going to want to do is be comfortable. I got comfortable ghost ollieing before I did kickflips, so I got comfortable to where I would go, my feet would be up above the board, then I'd put my feet on and then bring it down, just so I'd get used to my feet being away from the board and then coming back on. So yeah, alright, now let's get started on the actual tip and trick of flipping it. Alright, so we're going to set this up on its side, see if it will stay. Alright, I'll just hold it here like this. Alright, so we'll start with back flip placement. Right in here, in this concave area, it's just like the opposite side of this, where if you've watched tray flip videos, I tell you stick your foot in that pocket and then scoop forward. Well, for the kick flip, I like to stick my foot in this pocket, on inside here, right in here, and just let my toes on about maybe an inch past the ball of my foot, about right there, about that far in. And I just flex my ankle to snap it down. If you have strong enough ankles, you just flex your ankle and tap it down. Get it to where it's quick and you can get that foot up and start lifting for a kickflip. Alright, now on to front foots. Your front foot, when you see these back two bolts on the front, I skate regular, so this is why I'm doing it like this. I set my foot up almost like an ollie. Okay, it's about an inch from the far side away from you of the board down here. It's about an inch away from that on my toes. And what I do is, after I pop and I get it up, I turn my foot and I go kind of onto my toe and I slide up and kind of across here, and that's when it catches in this concave. Now this is where you hear flick. I'm not going to be one of those people who tells you flick and that you just watch them do it. Okay? I'm going to tell you, slide up, your foot gets stuck in this concave. Whatever you do, do not push down. If you push down, you're going to get the trick that goes, and you're probably going to end up credit carding yourself. Eventually, if you start flicking, you'll hear flick harder. Okay, so you're going to flick harder and make it go up more, because you're flicking down. No, do not flick down. If you already flick down, get away from that. Don't set your feet right here. That will cause you to flick down. You will think, okay, pop, and then slap it down. No, don't do it. Okay? You want to do it right. Slide it up, let it catch in that concave, and then lift your back foot. This is where everybody gets confused about suck your knees up. They don't mean pop, suck your knees up. No, they mean, from my perspective of it, how I learned it was, I did pop, suck my knees up, and then try and flip it, and it would just go bad. So what I do is I pop, slide, let it catch, and once I see it more coming to my feet and I'm ready to flip it, I suck my knees up then and then flick it. And just tap. Just get this front foot. All you're doing really with this front foot, it's not even supposed to, I shouldn't even call it a flick. I should call it move your foot out of the way. Because all you're really doing is ollieing and then just pushing your foot out of the way and the board flips. So what I do is I go slide across, it catches in this concave up here, right in here, just like right in there, and then you suck your knees up, like I said before, and then it'll be like coming up, so it's going to be going that way of course, and just I just kind of push more towards the front-ish, but not down. Don't push down, and don't push straight off, because you're just going to make it ollie. Push kind of back and forward, so like with it being like this, you're going to push kind of that way. Okay, don't go straight this way, don't go that way, don't go that way, kind of at like a 45-degree angle off the board, and that will cause it to come up, and after it's done flipping with me, it comes up to my feet the rest of the way, and that's where I catch and then put it down. So there's my kickflip explanation for you guys. Alright, hope this helps you learn those. Alright guys, now we're on to heel flips. Well, heel flips are a bit tricky after kick flips if you learn kick flips first, but if you learn heel flips first, then kick flips are going to be a little bit more tricky for you, but I think I can help you out with fixing your issues. Alright, so let's get started on this one now. Heel flips. You'll see videos of people telling you when you want to heel flip, they'll have you set your foot up, your front foot will be set up like something like this. Okay, that's not too bad. Or set it up like that, that's okay. But I set mine up just ball of my foot right there on the very edge, and then move it right up here. Okay? That's what you need to know there. Ball of my foot, move it up to about inch and a half behind the front bolts. Then you're going to hear the people tell you with your back foot, you're going to see a bunch of people telling you right here on the tip, you know, so you get a straight pop. Okay, you want a straight pop? Alright, then that means you have to do more work to make it flip. That's not going to be good for you. Just like I told you with the kick flip, right here in this little pocket. Why right here in this little pocket? Because whenever you have contradictory weight on this, you have weight pushing against this side, weight pushing against this side, you're going to balance it out. But whenever you apply force to this side, you're going to make it come like that, right? So when you're making it come like that, that's where sliding your foot and pushing it off that way will cause it to flip faster. Okay? So causing it to flip faster like that will be good. Just pushing down right there, getting it to come back to you, and then using the slide, and then it's like an arc. Okay? You're gonna like, with your foot, like see how my hand moves, the whole, that comes up, like that. Like you wanna like, kind of go up like your ollie, and like come out, and high five the air. Except you're going to do it with your foot. So that's what makes it complicated, because you're not used to flicking like that with your foot. So you're going to go up and like that. That's all it is. And if you can get used to that feeling of going up and high-fiving at the air with your foot, that's great, because that will cause you to flip the board fast enough. The next common issue you're going to run into is going to be the big one. The one that's going to completely and totally screw you. That you're going to like probably want to quit skating if this gets that frustrating for you, because you're not going to understand what people mean whenever they say don't lean forward. Whenever people say don't lean forward, they really mean it. You don't want to lean forward, okay? To look down, that's all you gotta do. You just gotta turn your head down to look down at the board to see it, okay? You don't have to lean forward. Because if you lean forward and you pop for the heel flip, you're taking the momentum back behind you already. So when you're taking the momentum behind you already, and then you're flipping it, it's the contradictory. It takes 10 times the force to make it go in the opposite direction of what you already have it going. So it's going to flip in that stationary position of where it came back to. So if you're leaning forward and you jump and you flip it, you're going to immediately go forward because your center of gravity is right here. So you're going to follow it, and if you're leaning forward, your center of gravity is going forward. So your body is immediately naturally going to go that direction. What you want to do is keep yourself centered and squared. Use your head to look down. Get your feet set up and just straight bend. That's all you want to do is just straight bend your knees and use your head to look down. Don't use your body to look down. Use your head to look down. Okay, what I'm doing right here is about perfect. And then what I do, this is probably a bad tip to throw at you guys, but once you are able to just like flick it and then land it and get on it to get to where you can go away, to roll away, what I do is I lean forward and put pressure. I lean forward this way towards the nose of the board to put pressure on this, and so I can get them higher. I lean forward and I rock back and rock it down on that way I can get my slide and flip. And I try to do it like my kick flips where I pause and then flip it, but sometimes I don't always get that right. But just practice the whole slide, high five the air, slide and high five the air. If you have to do it slow and get used to it with your foot, whatever works for you. Just make sure inside pocket, about 1.5 inches away from the bolts, ball your foot on the very edge, slide, high five the air. After the pop, keep yourself straight, bend at the knees, not the waist. And that's your heel flip. You just got to keep doing it. Once you see where it goes a few times, you're not going to get it first try. You really won't. But yeah, just bend at the knees. You might feel like you're leaning back, but you're really not. You're just staying straight, because most tricks, I've come to know that you can lean forward and be fine. This is the one that I've had trouble leaning forward and being fine. So you just gotta stay straight and then flip it. If you can already flip it, and that stay straight tip is what you need, stay straight. I mean, seriously, look down, stand straight on your board, feet over the bolts, and use your head to look down. Then put your feet in it in the position you need them to be, and wherever you can flip it, and then just bend your knees. That's all you're going to do, is just bend your knees. So you can get used to just doing that, and then do it moving, but don't pop your truck yet. And once you get used to keeping yourself straight, and people are telling you that, yeah, you're straight when you're doing it, that's when you can start trying it. If you've already got it to flip, and you just got to make sure that you try and flip it and push your foot forward out of the way. That way, because that also helps bring it back to under your feet if it goes too far behind you. So yeah, just don't lean forward, and don't kick down or kick straight out. That's not going to get you anywhere with the heel flip. Alright, hope that helped out, guys. Alright guys, now we're going to do tray flips. This one's a doozy, so be ready to get frustrated if you can't do it yet. Alright, here we go. First things first. If you cannot shove it and kickflip, don't be watching this part of the video. That's all I can say. Just don't be watching this part of the video. Tricks that'll help with this, obviously, ollie, kickflip, shove it. Another trick that you don't need to know, but helps a lot, is varial kickflips. Okay, all a varial kickflip is, it goes from here, it pops, it goes 180, flip. Okay, that's half the tray. Tray, it goes around a full 360 as it flips. Okay, so now I'm going to give you my instruction on it. You may think I'm crazy for my front foot position, but every time I go out and skate now, I've landed my tray flip first try, and this is like the first couple of months that I've been able to do it. So this is what I'm going to give you. I'll give you back foot first. Alright? That pocket they're always talking about, yeah, you really should want to use it. Okay? Right there, angled on it. Okay? It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to be very odd, but right in here, this angle, right there, get on it with your back foot. Okay? You can even turn like this, like your board's going this way. You can even turn like this just so you can get your foot angled on it right. However you need it to be. sometimes I come up a little bit higher. Like instead of being down here, I'll come up like right here. That's okay. You just gotta scoop a bit harder from there. And now your front foot. Alright, this is where you're gonna think I'm crazy. Because I've come to have trouble upon trouble upon trouble with tri-flips. And my conclusion is that it was my front foot getting in the way. Because it was. My front foot was getting in the way. I'd set my foot up like how some people told me, right about in the middle, about halfway on, and as I'd scoop flick straight forward, and I'd come around and I'd try to bring my front foot on as soon as I would when I kick flip, and it'd be coming through and it'd either smack like the back of my leg, or it'd hit the front of my shoe, or it'd even sometimes be coming through like this and it'd hit my back foot. So this is where I've come to a conclusion at, is about the middle of your board. You don't have to be exact. Don't be like stupid about it. Just find the exact spot and right in here. Okay? Right about in here. And I leave my foot just like that. Just how you see it right there. Just like that. On there. And then my back foot's where I told you just a second ago. And whenever I scoop it, not only do I go forward, I go this way. I come back. Because that, coming back, since I was having trouble, if you're having trouble with the same thing, with your foot going out that way and it getting in the way because you have the kick flip feeling, so you put your front foot back on, and you realize that it's too soon, and it hits your foot or your back foot or whatever because you're feeling like kick flip. Okay, that's why back foot goes here, so you don't feel like kick flip anymore. And then you take this foot, and what I do is I'm going to give you guys a little show in here on how I do it, how I watch it, okay? See here? This is your back foot, and your front foot's up here. I make it to where I feel my heel on the board. I can like lay my foot down and feel my heel on the board, just like I'm standing normal. And then as I scoop it forward, and as it's right in there, like this is straight, as it's right in here, that's when I take my foot and go out. And then it'll come through, and then it's just clean. Like, I don't know why, but I found that it's a lot more clean. And my issue right now is that whenever I go out, I jump a little bit forward, so I'll end up landing not over both bolts, it'll be over the front and in the middle. But that's alright. It'll get corrected over time as I'm doing it. So just as you scoop it forward, take this foot and just send it way out, forward and out, like just like how I told you to kick flip at 45-degree angle. You're going to go out at about 45-degree angle from back here, so it's going to be more, it's going to be wider, and then that's going to get it out of your way and let the board do its thing. That's where your feet are going to spread way apart if you do it right. Your feet should spread way apart. But if you don't do it right and your feet don't spread way apart, your back foot should go straight behind you. Or if not straight behind you, it should feel like a bicycle with your back foot. The first try I landed was bolts, but it like wasn't first try or anything. It was after forever of trying it. It was just my foot was angled, and I popped, and when I popped, I pushed forward and then pulled back, and it was like a bicycle, like how you pedal a bike. It was just like that. That's all it was. And I just got it around, and I kept this foot up in the air, and then once I saw bolts, just stuck it on. And what I was really doing is I just hoped that my front foot would make it on. And I was lucky enough that it did. So that's that. You just, that's really all it is. Pop, scoop forward, and you have to be watching it. This, you can lean forward. It's not like the heel flip at all. You can lean forward. I encourage you to lean forward, because when you lean forward, that's going to push it right there. And what that will do, pushing it this way, making it go this way, whenever you scoop, what's that do? That makes it to where your flip's going to be harder from going that way. What's that going to do? It's going to make it flip faster, which will be good if you don't flick too hard. If you flick like you would for a kick flip, then you're going to be in a pretty good spot, you should be, because it's how hard I flick. I just tap it, is all I do. And since it's here, and I just tap it, it flipped it fast enough that it gets it through. And then I'm on it, and it's golden. So if you have any questions or anything on anything that I've posted so far, just send me a message, comment on a video, and if you have any requests on what you want to see, just shout, like, subscribe. I'll do what I can to help you guys and getting some more stuff down, and just go do it. Like, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to commit. That's the biggest problem with tray flips. Don't be afraid to commit. You'll get it, guys. Don't even worry about it. It's no big deal. Just do it. It's really all it is just do it. That's what I had to tell myself, and that's all you really can do, is just do it. And then once you just do it, you've got it. Alright, guys. Alright, guys. Now I'm going to do backside flips. And I know I haven't done all of the tricks that are in that choose your trick tip video, but also that varial heel that I threw in there, that was pretty sketchy, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm just going to use the heel flip for that video, and I guess I'll just give you what I got now. Right now I'm going to throw out the backside flip. For the backside flip, you need to be able to kick flip, and you need to be able to 180, whether if you can already backside 180 or frontside 180, whatever works for you. I can't backside 180 and I can backside flip, so here's what I'm going to give for you, alright? Let's start with the back foot right now. Your back foot, I set mine square, right over the tail, not down here in the concave, but right over the tail. And try and get it equal toe and equal heel hanging off. It doesn't have to be exact, but... And then, for my flip foot, I don't do it with my normal kick flip spot. I do it, I pull it back and lower it just a little, because I'm not fast enough. But what you're going to do is, with your feet set up like that, you're going to, I kind of turn myself forward, so this is about normal for me, facing normal. I turn myself to be facing this way, and then I come back here and I throw around, and whenever I throw around, that's when I wait to pop, is I'll come around, and whenever I'm looking about 45 degrees behind me is when I'll pop, and I'll just come through, and as I'm getting 90, that's when I'll try and flip it, or maybe as I'm about 45, I'll try and flip it with this foot. You have to trust yourself to flip it. But all you're going to do is, you're looking this way, and you're just going to, once it comes around, this foot's, obviously you have to slide up, and this foot's going to get caught, and then you're just going to just tap it to get it out of the way, and it'll come through, and you have to be over it and ready to catch it and turn however far you need to turn, or stomp it down, and just try and get your feet over the bolts and throw those shoulders. That's the biggest problem, is not getting those shoulders around hard enough. You've seen in one of the videos of the sessions that I did earlier of a backside flip, mine are pretty clean, so just try and watch it if you can, and just shoulders is all it is just get those shoulders around. Your feet eventually will end up coming back to your shoulders. You just have to get them around fast enough, and then flip it, and just, that's all it is your foot's just going to get caught in here, and you just flip it, just kick it and come through. That's all it really is, guys. I would be doing like examples for you guys, but I kinda strained my meniscus, so I'm down, and I'm not gonna be able to give examples for this, but I've been able to show you what I can with this now, and I hope it helps. So if you have any requests for tricks that you want me to teach, just comment, send me a direct message, whatever. Subscribe, guys. And as many as we can. Thanks. Hope I'm helping you out.
Are you ready for the rough?